Fairchild, I got so many lights I can't see you very well, but I know you're out there. It is incredible to be here again. You are so precious and important to me in what you're continuing your mission there. Thank you for your service. Colonel Samuelson, thank you, sir, for inviting me back out here and for all you do for airmen. Truth be told, he had a little part in me being part of Fairchild history back 5 years ago. So if I did okay for you, thank him. If I didn't, don't say anything. But Colonel Samuelson, little did I know I was going to win the lottery when I got orders to Team Fairchild. It was an incredible event. Colonel Fritz, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for putting this together. Great events happen because of great leaders. Great events happen because of great leaders. And thank you, Colonel Fritz, for doing this. And to all the folks who have made this happen. Captain Scott, Major Phillips has been helping me here recently. And to all those others out there, I would have you clap for them, but I need every second of my 15 minutes to talk here. So I'm going to keep going. I've just got 14 minutes left, so I'm going. But when we're clapping at the end, for me, please clap for everybody else who made this day happen. Because Wingman Day is a critical day, and I'm very honored to be part of it here. I'll tell you, it is tougher times out there than there ever have been. In fact, in my final months in command, there were 2 events happening that still affect you all, and you know it. One of them was we were downsizing by 10%, and so there's actually 300 less airmen, give or take. I know we're starting to build again. The 300 less airmen out there. And then at the same time that was happening, heck, I couldn't even get a spot in my darn TAP class, for goodness sake. It was so busy. We were saying goodbye to airmen. But while that was happening, the other critical thing that was happening out there was the black flag of ISIS was being planted. And just as I was leaving, we were starting to send tankers to actually serve with Colonel Samuelson serving overseas. So it was a difficult time that was happening at that time right now. And you're still dealing with that today. So in effect, you are 10% busier in a lot of ways, but 10% smaller. I mean, really, an entire squadron isn't here that at my time was. And that's incredible. And yet you still continue to do incredible things out there, as evidenced by the Omaha trophies and all the other things that you're doing, and I continue to see in all the feeds that I'm still connected to out there. So thank you for that. Thank you for that service and continuing to fuel the fight and fuel freedom. This picture back here is J.J. Kendall actually sent it to me for my birthday last month, and I had never seen it before, but it embodies so much of what I appreciate about airmen, because I see all the different airmen in it. If I could do one thing, I'd Photoshop a civilian into it as well, because our civilians are so critical to this base. But between us is that flag, and that's what we're here doing as we fuel freedom, is protecting that flag and protecting this country here. This slide here is from the Best of the West here several years ago. I know we just had this last Friday, so I want to celebrate that great achievement again. You are an icon on the West Plains, and as that, it's not for the base itself, although it's a beautiful base. It's for the airmen that have been sitting in this seat for generation after generation. Those that came before you, you yourself, and those that are going to follow. And all those airmen that wear the uniform are connected by one thing, those values: integrity, service, excellent. I throw in there respect, because how can you be a good wingman if you don't respect the airmen that you're serving out there? And those are critical values that now that I'm a civilian, I still wear blue most days, but as I work as a civilian, we don't talk about those values nearly enough. In fact, last week for my leadership class, I introduced ethics into our training, because that's so important for us to continue to educate ourselves about the importance of doing the right thing. But you all have that. That's what's part of this day. And I hope that this day has recharged you to follow those things. There's one other thing as well, and that's to bring an attitude of service, of servant service to everything that you do. And I'll tell you, there's a great picture of some chiefs there. They do a lot of service for our Air Force there. I ran into Chief Connor. If you're out there in the audience, Chief Connor, you look just as good back then as you do today. So keep going. There he is. Okay, I can't see you, but I know you're out there. But I show this slide because it's got Chief Gaylor. Many of you, I hope, have had the honor to meet Chief Gaylor, someone who's truly an icon in our Air Force. But he gives a story. He gives a story about hot fries. And I'll tell you, that story to me has been with me me my whole time. And he tells it about when he was a young kid. And he was out there in the Georgian sun watching a young man serve burger and fries. And I love burgers and fries. And now that I don't have a PT test every day, I can have a lot more of them. And don't tell the medics I said that. But and he talks about this young man running back and forth from the drugstore where they were cooked to his little burger stand. And one day, the chief went up to him and said, Why do you run all the time? You're still going to get the food to him. And he goes, Sir, my customers love hot fries. Well, isn't that the truth? None of us like cold fries. And when you microwave them, they turn into rubber. We all appreciate hot fries. But the important point, obviously, is the moral of the story, that bring that service. So that's hopefully something that I brought to you all when I woke up every day, was that attitude of serving you. My job was to make sure that we fuel the fight and fuel freedom, but I did that by serving airmen every day so you could do your job. Bring that attitude to everything that you do, because our values are timeless. And it was prescient to listen to Annie Brown today. That was the 20th remembrance of that tragic week that Fairchild had, that we had. And what did we do? We continued to move forward despite those critical tragedies. It's because of the airmen. It's because of you that we were able to do that. Our honor guard represents those values to us in so many ways. Young airmen, if you don't know about honor guard, if you want to change your life, go sign up for honor guard, because that is what represents us in so many ways out there. But I will tell you, while our values are timeless, the Air Force is changing. I'm sure you'll have 3 or 4 more PT tests here over the next 20 years, as they change it every other year, it seems, and so many other things change. In fact, my son is going to commission here in 6 months. He's up at the University of Michigan, go Blue. But he's going to commission here shortly. And so if you see a Newberry, remember the name Newberry, you see a Lieutenant Newberry out there, mentor him. Take care of him, because he needs to learn from you all. He's still a young man. But I tell Mark, I say, Mark, you need to be a better airman than me. And he looks at me, he's like, really? Dad, you really had a pretty good career, you know? I said, no, that's not the point. The point is that it's tough times out there. You're not going to have the resources that I had. You're not going to have the people that I had. And the threats, in a lot of ways, are probably worse. North Korea is certainly not making things easy right now. And that word nuclear is going to be out there for a long time coming. You need to defend this country. And you need to do it with a team that's going to need to be a better team than I had. I had an extraordinary team. You all were extraordinary in my time, but you don't have the resources that I had. So that's what you need to continue to fight with as you go forward, is building that team, being wingmen to each other. That's the key. Our values are timeless, but we need to work together as a better team to do that, because this is what matters most. Our country, which is a noble nation. It is an incredible country to be with. And in many ways, the conflicts going on in the political side, you almost feel like that we are in a civil war in some ways. But we need to not worry about that. We need to continue to go forward and serve this great country as we go forward here, so that as we fuel the fight and we fuel freedom, government of the people and by the people and for the people shall not perish. Shall not perish. I'll tell you, my mic's a little loose here, so I'll keep going. I'll try not to be as moving as much here. When I was standing up here, there was a commercial that came out around the Christmas time of my first commander's calls around that time. And I just read it to you all. And it reminds me of how special this country is. So for those folks like Mr. Carney and others out there have heard it, please forgive me. But this means a lot to me in our country. And it says, let's give thanks for an idea, a grand idea called America. The idea that if you work hard, if you have a dream, if you work with your neighbors, you can do most anything. This led to other ideas, like liberty to rock and roll to free markets, free enterprise, and free refills. It puts a man on the moon and a phone in your pocket. Our country has gone a lot over the last 2 centuries, but our idea is not fragile. When times get tough, it rallies us as one. Every day, more people believe in the American dream, and when they do, dreams come true. You all are not only airmen of first-class caliber, you're dream makers, because you keep that dream alive. I'll tell you, and that continuum of service is going to stay with you at all. Whether you're all about ready to retire, as some great commanders out there in the audience are, or you're going to continue to move forward, or you're just joining the service like my son is going to do here in 6 months. This service will always be with you. Always, always be with you. Remember this, In some ways, none of us are immortal. We're all mortal. And we'll all have tombstones at someday, metaphorically or not. And many of us on that tombstone, it will say United States Air Force. It won't say Microsoft. It won't say McDonald's. It won't say hot fries or I made a lot of money. It will say United States Air Force. If what you do every day will be with you for eternity, why not give a damn as you do it and bring that first-class service to everything you do, founded by your core values that you have? I'll tell you, there are some incredible, incredible heroes out there. We just heard from the hero just before me. We've heard some heroes of past generations. I tell you what, we are lucky to serve with giants. One story that I held on to during my tough times, 2013 was a tough year for here, if you remember that, with government sequester, shutdown, and all the other challenges that we had. But one of those things is I held those core values, and I held on to stories of others who never gave the line. If you heard this story, 6 seconds, it's an incredible story about 2 Marines. Oddly enough, timing is everything. It's not 9 years tomorrow that this happened, 2008, April 22nd. They took shift there, these 2 young Marines, 21 and 22 years respectively. They were only on shift for about 30 minutes, when off in the distance, they saw a truck in the distance coming at them. They had 6 seconds to live. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. In the first second, they saw the truck was a threat. In the second they bring their guns to bear. In the third second, they ended up going on full automatic and shooting the truck. In the fourth second, they ended up taking out the windshield as well as the driver and the engine block. In the fifth second, it came to rest. About as far back as the back of that theater. In the 6th second, it detonated. Dead man switch. They didn't make it. When they went back to look at the autopsy results as far as the camera video, what they noticed was the Iraqi guards that were with them ran off into the night air. And they lived, as well as the 50 American Marines that were about ready to rotate home back in the barracks, and the other 100 Iraqi that were there. Those Marines held the line because they did their job, did their job, did their job. They didn't have time to look at each other and say, what are we going to do next? They did their job. That's what we do because we embody those core values. There are a few others that have done their job, and they're airmen that have sat right in this theater 4 years ago. Captain Tyler Voss, Captain Tori Pickney, Tech Sergeant Trey Mackey. They took off on a day very much like today, on 3rd May, 2013. Kyrgyzstan, if you've been there, is very much like Spokane. It was a beautiful day. They had only 11 minutes to live. I listened to the tape 3 times as part of after the Safety Investigation Board. Tears in my eye every time. I wish you could hear it. Because those airmen did their job, did their job, did their job. They were you. They were your brothers and sisters. They were young airmen, and they understood what they needed to do. Immediately taking off, Tori knew something was wrong. Tyler started trying to figure it out, running checklists. And Trey Mackey checked off to look at the boom pod, look outside the window, see if there was anything going on. They couldn't figure it out. They'd never experienced such roll, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse. But through the whole time, like those Marines, they did their job. They kept pressing forward because they wanted to fuel the fight, fuel freedom in Afghanistan because they didn't want those soldiers unprotected. That's what airmen do. They cover down. They cover down. And it wasn't until the very last second when they knew they couldn't make it anymore, they started to turn around, and that's when the G-forces ended taking down their jet. But they did everything they could do to continue to fuel the fight. They had those core values, and they had that attitude of service that each and every airman needs to have. We must continue to move forward. As airmen, we have 2 choices in life, to move forward and to move back. Well, team, we fly. When we stay motionless or we go backwards, we crash. We must move forward. Pictured up in the left, there actually the right is Voss's family there. Interestingly enough, his sister is going to commission to be a lieutenant here from MIT here in about a month and a half's time. They have continued to move forward, but they will never forget Tyler, nor will we. There is wonderful Gabriel pictured as well. He's a child of wonderment in the Air Force family, and his family and Rich continue to take care of him. We must move forward. That's what we do. We are Team Fairchild. We are few, mighty few, a band of brothers and sisters. We aim high. We must continue to fuel the fight, fuel freedom for this great country of ours. I have faith in you. I know you will continue to lift others up, because that's what airmen do. We soar high. We fuel the fight. We fuel the freedom. Fly safe. Be safe. God bless you all. You will never falter. You will never fail. I am proud of you, airmen. I salute you all. Thank you, everybody. Well,